Hey, what's going on guys? Logdotzip here, and welcome back to the Minecraft mod review. Today we're going to be covering the Better Beginnings mod, which is a mod that just came out by Einstein Sci that puts a whole new twist on your Minecraft gameplay. Basically what this mod does is it removes a bunch of elements and actually gives you a harder experience in your Minecraft world. There's brand new crafting recipes, new blocks, 6 new types of furnaces, and a bunch of new items to cover. It is a work in progress mod, so if you guys want to see updates on this mod as well as more mod reviews in general, make sure you leave a like on the video. I want to see if we can get at least 500 likes for this mod review. But without further ado, let's jump into it. So the first thing you're gonna notice about the Better Beginnings mod, let's just say you started a brand new world with this mod. That's kind of the point. Well, normally you start with punching yourself some wood, right? Well, the thing with this mod is it doesn't let you do it. It's not going to be that easy. Anytime you try and punch wood, doesn't matter if it's the logs from trees or just wood in general, you're going to have yourself a pretty bad time here. There's actually a new process to getting all your supplies, and the first thing you're going to need to start out with is gravel. Now, gravel is what you're going to need to get yourself some flint, and flint is the first tool you're going to need. So you can either get 2 flints by breaking gravel as you normally would, or you can actually create flint by just doing a 4x4 in your crafting recipe, just like that. Let me get the other piece of flint here, and I'll show you the rest of what's coming next. So, just like that, you got 2 pieces of flint. From there, put the 2 flint together, and you're going to get yourself a flint knife. Now that you got the flint knife, your adventure truly begins. Since you can't break wood with your fists, and you can't even break it with this knife either, you gotta find a way to get sticks to build your tools. Well, the way to do that is actually with saplings. So, getting saplings, you can break leaves in order to get your saplings, so it's gonna take a little bit of effort. But once you have yourself a sapling, what you'll do is you'll place it in your 2x2 crafting once again, and you use the knife to strip down the sapling into a stick. Now, it even comes with achievements. I'm a sapling, I'm a sapling. Hilarious. The other thing about knives that's quite useful is every now and then they can act as a silk touch enchantment for things like vines, grass. Every so often you'll get one of those. Ow! Fell. I want to see if I can get another one of these real quick. There we go. So every so often will act as a silk touch, but what you really need it for is, of course, to get that stick. Now, in order to make a axe that can chop down this wood, you're going to need a couple more things. You got your stick. That's fine and dandy. The next thing you're going to need is some leather. So give it to me, baby. You better drop some freaking leather, man. There you go. So once you've got some leather, you can make the next step in your crafting ingredients, which is right up here, again, with the 2x2. Combine these together, and you get leather strips. Perfect. Now, I think I didn't give myself enough flint to show off this next part. But once you've got leather strips, your stick, and another piece of flint, you're going to make yourself a little makeshift hatchet. And this is how you make the hatchet, a flint hatchet. Now, this is what you finally need to be able to start getting wood. So now that we've got that, this is the first thing you need to even begin your adventure. Now, the next step you're going to need to do is make yourself a double crafting table. The Better Beginnings mod actually revamps crafting recipes, removes a lot of the current ones. In fact, I suppose I'll show you right now. One of the things you're going to notice right off the bat is a lot of your crafting recipes simply don't work anymore. You're gonna have to find workarounds for things like stone. Oddly enough, what this mod does is you need real stone in order to make your stone tools. But it goes even further than that. I'll show you this. In order to make stuff like diamond pickaxes, you need a bunch of extra stuff, which is where this advanced crafting table comes into play. These are catalyst items, and these are the slots where you keep your catalyst items, and these are what are required on top of the other crafting recipes. But we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here. First thing we're going to need is, once you've gathered some wood with your flint hatchet, you're going to want to obviously get wood as you normally would. Wood. I said wood a lot. I'm sorry. This is getting embarrassing. Anyways, so make yourself a crafting table as you normally would. Now, these are slightly different crafting tables. If you look at this one right here, you can see the dark outline. The new one that the mod adds is slightly different. They work basically the same way, but for this demonstration, you're going to actually need 2. You place down your first one, and you've got your normal crafting bench as such, but if you want to start doing the advanced tools, which you pretty much need for all of the ingredients that this mod changes, you're going to need to put them together. So it's going to join together like that, and from there, you'll have your advanced crafting table with the catalyst add-on on the side. Now, in order to make all the new knives that the mod offers, of course, you already saw the flint one, but here are the recipes to make the other one. To make the diamond one, it is as such, as well as the catalyst items. To make the iron one, again, as such, plus the catalyst items. The gold one, Are you getting the picture here? Now the one that changes just a little bit is if you want to make a bone one, that's how you do it. You don't need any catalyst items in order to make the bone knife, but arguably you could just make a flint one instead and save yourself the trouble. Now one other thing I forgot to mention that may shock you is all wood recipes for wood tools are gone. You can't make them. There's no way to get yourself a wood pickaxe. Even if you try and make a wood sword, you'll notice +0 attack damage, just as good as your fist. So you probably wondered, okay, well then how am I supposed to get stone to upgrade my tools? Well, that is where a new crafting recipe comes into play that involves bones as well as a few of the other things we've seen. So now that you've gotten your flint hatchet, you can get wood, you can make sticks the normal way in this mod, so you don't got to worry about that. But the next thing you're going to need is bones. And one thing that the better beginning mod adds is bone shards. Now bone shards are the occasional drop from ocelots and chickens, and the mod itself is also supposed to make all mobs drop regular old bones. I don't know if it's been implemented. Again, it's a work in progress mod, but you can always get bones from skeletons as well. Now we'll go ahead and just grab one of those right off the side here. Now in order to get bone shards, you can either kill ocelots and chickens from, again, not sure if it's been implemented just yet. I tried and it wasn't working before, but the other way you can get it is by doing it just like that. In your 2x2, get your knife, get your bones, and you get yourself some bone shards. One bone will get you 2 bone shards, and from there, 1 bone shard will get you 2 bone meal. So if you use your knife, you can actually get a little bit of extra bone meal for your trouble. Now, we've got the recipes we need. These are some more catalyst items. These are examples of things that will occasionally be used on the side there. So now we can make ourselves a bone pickaxes, which is what you're gonna need to start out with to get things going. So see, you also need the catalyst, the leather strips you get from skinning cows. Now that you've got all those together, you can make yourself a bone pickaxe. Now the bone pickaxe is basically the lowest level pickaxe. This is the first thing you'll need to actually start being able to mine stone. You won't be able to mine it any other way. So make yourself that first before anything else happens. Now that you got some stone tools, you can actually begin making some of these furnaces. There's not 1, not 3, but 6 new furnaces, and they are kilns, smelters, and ovens. These all serve their own individual purposes. If you've got any furnaces in your game currently when you add this mod in, they are useless. They will not do anything anymore. You need to make some of these new ones. One thing to notice, there are 3 different types, and there is an upgraded version for each one. So the Obsidian Kiln is an upgrade of the regular kiln, smelter, ender smelter, brick oven, nether brick oven, and so on and so forth. Here are the crafting recipes to make each one. So the kiln is made just as a normal furnace is normally made. This is going to serve your basic purpose. The kilns are what are used to smelt blocks. So smelting things like cobblestone together, smelting things like sand together. Now, they can only take certain types of fuel as well. You can use regular old wood, coal, block of coal. Things you normally cook with are what are used for the kilns. Now, of course, the Obsidian Kiln, which is an upgrade, cooks at a much faster rate than the regular kiln. You can see this one's already beat it compared to the regular kiln. Now, in order to make that, again, here is the crafting recipe. This is the catalyst item you'll need. You'll need to make this in the advanced crafting table, and these are what you need on the little side there in order to create this one. Now, these are here's an example of the things you can cook with the kilns. Cobblestone into regular stone, sand into glass, oak wood into charcoal. Charcoal serves a big purpose in this mod. And you can use cooked food to make charred food as well as cooking clay. I'll explain charred food in just a little bit here. So next up we have the smelters. Now the smelters are what are used to process your ores like iron, gold, lapis, diamond, things like that. Now I say those because they also work with any blocks you've silk touched, and in this mod you're actually encouraged to use silk touch, assuming you don't have like the fortune enchantment or whatever, to give yourself a chance at getting more ores out of that single block. Now here are the recipes over here to make the smelters. Smelters is stone bricks with a charcoal in the middle. Again, you're gonna get charcoal by using the kilns. You burn logs to get charcoal, and that will make you your smelter. Now to make the ender smelter, put this baby right in the middle, surround it with end stone and 2 eyes of ender, and the ender smelter is what you'll get that. Here, again, are the catalysts. You'll also need these in addition to make the ender smelter. And what they do is they process your ores, as I said. And the other interesting thing is every single time you'll want to process ores, you need gravel as well. Higher ores need more gravel. So if you've got diamond, you're actually going to be using up 3 gravel per diamond processed. Now these are fuels. Again, this one runs strictly on charcoal. The Ender Smelter will actually run on Eyes of Ender, and Ender Pearls make extremely good fuel sources, and they also run on lava buckets. One thing I also want to stress is lava buckets will only work in the advanced versions of each of the furnaces, as well as with the regular smelter. Now, one thing I wanted to show off in action so you could see it happening is using the Ender Smelter. As I said, if you use Silk Touch blocks, you give yourself an opportunity to get more than one diamond or more than one lapis, etc. out of said ore. So look, only one. Okay, so this time it gave one, but just bear with me. You'll also notice it took 3 gravel because it's a higher requirement. 2. Okay, it's not every time. Come on, man. Work with me. Can you please just give me an extra one, won't you? Nope. Okay. Any day now. Come on. Just work, please. There we go. So you see, that time it gave us 3, even though it still only used 1 of the diamond ores out of it. Now, the last 2 furnaces we have are the brick and the nether brick oven. These are used to cook your food. You cannot use the other furnaces. Doesn't matter how hard you wish. You can't use them to cook your food. You have to use these. The crafting recipe is as follows. Right over here is how you make the regular brick oven. And in order to make the nether brick oven, surround your regular brick oven with all the nether bricks, a single piece of glass, and of course your catalyst items to make the final part complete. Now, again, these are used to cook your food. Here are some examples of fuels you can use for the regular old brick oven. Now you notice you also have a little bit of a crafting recipe over here. That, simply put, is because any foods that required crafting to make before, you're not supposed to be able to make with bread like that. So according to the author, you're not supposed to be able to do that. You're supposed to have to make them in here, but of course you can't do that without your fuel as well. So once we start cooking, you'll see that the bread is created that way. Again, still a work in progress mod. Don't get mad at me, don't get mad at him, but you'll notice it actually doubles your output when you use the furnace as well. Now, if you want to use the nether brick oven, this baby runs on lava. You need lava to do it. So if you want to cook something up, gotta make sure you use lava. The other interesting thing is anything golden or using golden in its recipe, with the exception of the speckled melon, because that's for brewing, you have to use it in the ovens as well. So unless it wants to prove me wrong again, this should not be a possible. Okay, well, it looks like you can make it, but from what I was told in the thread, you're supposed to also make it through here. Perhaps it will give me double the output. Maybe that's what it's actually supposed to be. No, it doesn't look like it. Again, for the time being, it's supposed to be you have to make it in the brick oven, but otherwise, if you just put food anywhere, it's going to just spit it out as it normally would. Let me go ahead and get rid of these just like that. So it cooks as normal, doesn't matter where you put it. This one cooks substantially faster. So again, the other thing you need to keep in mind is when you eat raw anything, not just raw chicken, if you eat raw anything, it's going to cause a lot of hunger for you. It doesn't matter what food item it is or otherwise. This is where charred meat comes into play. If you happen to accidentally give yourself some charred meat by cooking it the wrong way, you can eat charred meat to nullify the hunger effect. Well, again, that's what the mod says. Dang it, man! Alright, so now that we've covered all the furnaces, we can move on to a few crafting bench examples. Don't worry, we'll get to this block. Relax. So, oh, I already took them out, that's right. So again, as I said, a lot of your known crafting recipes have changed or require more things. For example, look, a iron door now requires 3 little rivets. Now you can make the rivets simply by, or nuggets. You make the nuggets simply by placing 1 iron ingot. Of course, you can turn it right back into that iron ingot by doing that. But this is used to make various recipes involving iron. Now, the cool thing about these iron nuggets being added is that they are used in a new crafting recipe to make your chain. So now you can make the chain chest plates instead of not really having any other way to get them in game other than perhaps through mob drops. So if we also wanted to make a iron pickaxe, you're gonna need, again, your leather pieces. It looks like I'm just short, so let's use the mod in action. We're doing it live. So now I've got enough, so that's good. So now we can go ahead and try and make that sucker again, just like that. But boom, you need to get yourself those leather strips. Or if you want to make yourself some armor, this requires a lot of stuff. So in this instance, we need 4 redstone, 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 6 blaze powder, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 leather strips, and 4 pieces of wool. So the difficulty curve has gone up quite a lot should you use this mod, but it's definitely an interesting twist on your gameplay experience. You're going to need to do a little bit of exploring yourself to get every single recipe, because they are going to vary slightly, but for the most part it's going to take all the same catalyst ingredients. Now finally, what we've got up for grabs is the Infusion repair station, which basically replaces anvils. Now, you got a lot going on here, but the first thing you're going to need is your enchanted items. So in this chest, I've got each item with a different enchantment. It's covering all the enchantments. The only ones I did not have multiple of is Unbreaking, because those all require the same item to be repaired. Yes, that means these items are going to require more than just levels or iron to repair again. So just for an example, we got Knockback 1. In order to repair this Knockback 1 back, you need an iron ingot and 1 piston. For looting, you need 2 gold. You need, for sharpness, quartz, blaze powder, fermented spider eye, and soul sand. For your fishing rods, you're going to need a lily pad for luck of the sea, and I think a pufferfish for lore. Same goes for bows. Fire charge, you're going to need gunpowder, arrows. You getting the point? You feeling me? Alright, and then of course you got your pickaxes. Fortune requires lapis. Unbreaking requires obsidian. They all require obsidian for breaking. Silk touch requires 8 wool. And of course we got our last one, looting, which requires gold, as well as the fortune one. Now in addition to these things, depending on what level the item is, it's going to require more than just 2. I think how it goes is it doubles or quadruples. So if this was looting 2, I think it goes up to 4 gold ingots. Might go up a little bit more. The author of the mod is changing things as we speak. Again, it's a work in progress. Now, the other interesting thing right now is the author has made it a little bit difficult to gather things such as string and such. So I will show you right here. In fact, let's just get into creative mode real quick. Grab ourselves a spider. When you kill a spider, it does not drop string anymore. Nice. Difficulty Juan. There we go. It does not drop string anymore. It instead drops something called silk. Now, silk, as it says right here, is also a work in progress, but this is going to fit right in with our unused or not done yet area. So silk is used to make thread in this crafting recipe as such. Now thread is used to make cloth, and cloth is eventually going to be an implemented alternative to leather armor, because the leather armor crafting recipe does not work either. There's also a few more things being added, such as campfires. Now the fire doesn't actually work yet because there's no working way to light it yet, but it's going to look pretty sweet, especially because it just came out for the 1.8 version of campfires. There's also roasting sticks, which is made just by doing this, not usable yet. And of course there are marshmallows. Now there's no way to use these just yet either. These are all planned updates. This is just a test item he's using for whatever. And the fire bow is also not implemented yet with a crafting recipe, but this is what will be used to eventually light your campfires. Campfires are going to be used to cook food on the go, as well as cook your marshmallows. Yummy! Now again, I don't know how many times you're going to say it. You're probably getting sick of me saying it, but it is a work in progress. So what I wanted to do was list off a few more things that the author is planning on adding to the Better Beginnings mod. Now right now, I'm reading off the to-do list. There's campfires, marshmallows, string and twine, which we covered briefly, or dictionary recipes, because it's kind of actually difficult to get some of them to work properly with not enough items. New textures and an API, but that's a long time down the road. But yeah, those are things that are added. There's a couple other notes I wanted to say is that most blocks are not breakable with the correct tool. As you saw, if I try to break it with my fists, I can't get the wood. If I try and do it with stone, not going to get stone. You're going to need the correct blocks. The only blocks you can really get away with breaking without the proper tool are shovel-based blocks, such as dirt and gravel, or like leaves and wool, things like that. All meats, again, cause a negative effect, so do not eat the meats. You're going to want to find a way to neutralize that. You can do it by drinking milk, I believe. And the vanilla furnace, as I said, is not useful in any way. You gotta make the new furnaces. But other than that, guys, that was the Better Beginnings mod. If you want to see updates as this gets updated, it's being updated frequently. Again, it's already come out, and he's already added like 3 more things since I initially started the mod. I had to update it mid-mod review. Then, of course, leave a like on the video, and if you want to see more mod reviews in general, make sure you are subscribed, because I plan on getting them out a lot more often. But check out the mod. The link is in the description below to the thread on Minecraft forums where you can download the mod. Let the guy know I sent you, and hopefully he'll keep it updated. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed, and we will catch you for the next video. Thanks again, and see ya.